Next one. And then I'm going to do another draft here. So let's jump right on in. If you are down for another one of these.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've actually been tempted to. I would love to see the actual draft first off.
Yeah.
But I've been tempted to reinstall MTGO just so I can do this vintage cube.
Vintage Cube's really goddamn sweet. You know?
I love cube.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Cube is good.
So, first
Frost
round.
Titan, Gideon, Damnation.
Yeah. Sort of
Exhume.
not very powerful. Exhume with the Fauna Shaman there. A good Signet. Ponder.
I really like Fauna Shaman.
Yeah, Fauna Shaman. No, yeah. Fauna Shaman. Fauna Shaman's very good here. I'm kind of tempted to pick up just that Gideon and see if we can play out like where I would want to go with that Gideon is probably some sort of green white and just get that Gideon down on 2 or 3. You know, if we can get really busted, just because it's so good at just whoops creature, and you know a 1-card win con.
Yeah, that's not a bad option either.
Other card we could pick up the most powerful card in the pack as far as like a deck goes is just maybe even Ponder, you know.
Just straight up Ponder.
Pondering.
It's not a bad option. It's the incredible card selection. It's a 1-turn top. It's great.
Yep. All right.
Tooth and Nail is a card I'm also fond of.
Yeah. All right, so here we've got some powerful options as well. Thran Dynamo is a way to be on the big side, have a lot of mana going on. Mystic Confluence is busted in half.
Mystic Confluence is... it's draw 3 for 5 if you wanted to. You could counter a million things. It's kind of like... it's not... It's weirdly enough, it's... Like, you could decide to be 3 modes of Cryptic Command if you wanted to, like, instead of just 2.
Yeah. That's why I love it.
It's not as powerful as Cryptic just because Cryptic does have 1 more option on it. But it's still, like, right behind it, probably.
Yeah. Can't bring myself not to do that. What else we got? All right. Throwing
some kind of Gideon deck that would end up probably being green white and ooh, is that a counterspell that draws cards?
Ooh,
oh my.
Yeah, right? Like I'm sitting here thinking like, you know, we get to play like a turn 1 Elvish Mystic or something like that.
Brainstorm.
Right, what if we just keep playing blue though?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You just picked Mystic Confluence. It's a double blue card, you know? That sounds to me like blue's a real color.
Yeah. What if we keep picking up blue and then, like, who even knows, like, what sort of... Gideon might be here or not, who knows? Gideon's very strong, so possible. The other cards in here we can pick up would be, like... It's funny, Thalia's strong in, like, the white deck, but is not very good with that
with
Gideon.
White and blue. Yeah. And Gideon, because, yeah, non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. Gideon's a non-creature spell.
Yeah. Ooh, Dak. Ooh.
Duck Vago.
Duck. A delicious taste. So, one of the things that makes Dak so strong is that, I've mentioned it a couple times, we're in a cube where artifacts are everywhere. Everyone runs them.
Yes.
Every single deck. Even the mono red deck we played against went like Land, Mox, Signet, Burning Tree, Burning Shrine. Like, you know, like Narset.
Yeah, gain control of target artifacts actually very real text.
Yeah.
In this.
Narset is also, as we played with last time, was pretty goddamn powerful as a plan. What if we could bring the Narset and table the deck? I don't think the deck tables, but...
I feel like the other way around... Actually, you know, they're probably about as likely as each other, is the thing. They're both 3-mana walkers, and they're both good 3-mana walkers, so... Combine them together, target player draws 1 card, then discards 2 cards.
Yeah, or just whoop. Alright, Stoneforge could be in season. Based on...
We did just see a sword. We passed up a sword to pick up with it. But...
Yeah, but like those swords kind of table a lot. So one of the things about Stoneforge and swords in general is that they're not as powerful in this cube. And Stoneforge itself isn't very much. But like, if this is a powerful white card, and I kind of want a reason to be in white, and that would give us another reason to be in white. So...
That's fair.
Ooh.
So that's a white-blue card. There's show and tell. There's path, just straight up path to exile.
Nobody's ever gonna feel bad casting path to exile.
When I path Vpriz's Kiora, what is it? Not Kiora. Impossible defeat card from Rise of the Eldrazi.
The
what's her name? Drana?
Drana. Oh yeah, Drana.
It was not the impossible Drana, but the other Drana.
Oh, the Liberator.
Draw a card to put down the land. So that game there was a mistake. I feel bad about it. Even
Okay.
Now we're talking.
Now
all right,
we're
got
talking.
A plan.
What is this? Every card in our deck?
Yes.
I'm sorry that there's a skull clamp like right here as well, but this is like
that meant her.
This is a
There was also Young Peasy that you passed up.
Yeah, and now, especially, like, I don't see that tabling. One of the things...
I don't either, but if it does, suddenly you're playing Jeskai.
Yeah, especially, like, maybe if Dak does, too, but that would be... I feel like the player who picks Dak is the player who picks that up.
Soulfire Mystic. Soulfire Grand Master, huh? So...
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either, but at the same time, you're really gonna... It doesn't really do much for blue or white, really.
I don't know what I would want out of here. Like, I could pick Tez, or I could pick, like, Greaves to tutor, or, like, even a Mazevith.
I mean... So, you play Gideon, you plus him, you equip Greaves onto Gideon. They fall off after he turns back into a Planeswalker, but still.
Whoops. So the other reason I'm thinking about, like, Soulfire Grandmaster, it's a little expensive, but yeah, pay 5 mana for a buyback on Path or Brainstorm.
That's that too, yeah.
I don't like the sword, but we probably should have some in the deck.
Yeah, you're probably not playing Soulless with Stoneforge, even if you do. But what's the other pickup? Lyra,
which is strong.
in the deck that wants it, but I don't know. I actually was thinking maybe Zergo was the better option.
I always feel fine on Relic Warder. Looks like blue is, as usual, blue gets picked very heavily in here, so our blue is going to be...
in Vintage Cube.
There you go, figuring.
Lean and Relic Warder is... something, okay.
No, Feast and Famine.
Okay, that's a sword that I'm very happy to see in play.
Yeah.
Revelar, Vanishing Light, and Iona, huh?
Looks like white is open. It looks like the DAC and everything are gone. I'm gonna pick up Revelark because I love Revelark.
I also
that's literally it. I think the Vanishing Light might...
Nice. Okay.
Sorry.
I think you're in the right color combination, just blue will always end up being picked, you know?
Yeah, so we have to pick our blue cards heavily. So, like...
And white is just... People are passing up white, no questions asked.
So Mulldrifter is our our best friend forever, and we have to auto-pick Mulldrifter no matter what.
Memory Jar is also and Preordain are both good to see as well.
So if I wasn't like the person who loves Mulldrifter,
Preordain actually works better with your deck.
Preordain works better with the deck. It's actually it's actually a stronger card. We can buy back it and make it Whispers of the Muse for like a really, really dumb.
But pet cards are pet cards.
I love Mulldrifter so much. It's well, I think it's just my favorite Magic card. It and Revelark are close, but I think the reason I like Revelark is because Mulldrifter exists. So, you know. Where's Cardfish emote? That's got to be the next one. I tried to make it myself, but I couldn't make it look good. So, need to reach out to somebody else on that. Anyway, let's pick up our Mulldrifter. All right, so
Ancestral recall visions, not recall. If it was recall, you'd hit it immediately.
yeah,
On color fetch, but that's a slow fetch, right?
no,
No, that's regular flash.
that is fetch. Fetch is
Yeah.
fetch.
Days. Elspeth as well. It's not like Elspeth shares the same function as Gideon functionally, but
Right.
Gideon probably does it better
So
a little bit.
It's kind of sad. Elspeth was like one of the strongest planeswalkers for a very long time, and was one of the reasons you kind of like would play white in formats like this. But like, Gideon kind of overtook that spot, even though Gideon doesn't go up in loyalty. The 2/2s and like even the ability to anthem made it a little stronger. I'm gonna go with the Strand because I do want the ability for this deck to have like mana, and it is more likely that maybe even Elspeth tables. Who even knows?
Yeah. And it's kind of funny that in the Legacy cube and like the other regular cubes that exist, the other Elspeth is like an extremely strong reason to be in white. Absolutely.
Yes.
Like that is a game, that is a deck in unto itself still. In this one, at cost 6, it's still a little bit rough to go for in Vintage Cube.
It depends on, again, that was why. So when our final round opponent last cube played like pair of signets, I was convinced that they were just blue white big planeswalkers, because that is what you do. You just go haymakers.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably gonna pick a Brazen Bar over here. It is a prowess spell and a flying attacker. It's like having...
So adventure, how that works out is you cast the adventure, it exiles, and you can pay their regular creature mana cost whenever, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And so this card has flash on its sides as well, so...
Balance.
Yo.
Balance is... You're likely to have more creatures on balance, but...
So balance wants us to find some mana rocks to go with that, but I probably am just fine with... Especially, like, the other cards in here. I'm not sure I actually want to be big enough for that Gear Hulk. Hollowed Spirit Keeper's cool, but I'm likely out of tabling. Like, pick up the balance, see if we can find more ways to make it work here.
Turnabout is kind of unnecessary if you're going to be going super wide anyway.
Yeah, it's a falter, I guess. I don't know.
It's falter functionally most of the time in this. Yeah, it's also turn off a turn.
Sure, mana drain.
Yeah, but it's still not like incredible when you're a deck that's supposed to be incrementally buying your turns out. There's Treachery back. It's a good card.
What a choice. This is effectively Treachery versus the Celestial Colonnade here, and
I'd probably go for the Treachery.
I think we go with the Treachery because we talked about how the blue cards are harder to come by. It sucks because Colonnade is a really, really nice land that like we get to finish out a game with. Free control magic is better than Coastal Tower, indeed. So I talked about it. Like, I'm talking about it as though it was something I would choose the Colonnade on. Treachery is one of my, like, as far as like a pick goes, in Legacy Cube, I think it's my number 1. In this cube, it's less than that because, like, sometimes you just fight decks where it's garbage.
Sometimes you just fight decks where there's like a single creature in the entire thing.
Right, and it's like, wow, your Treachery can't do anything.
At least you figure that out. You grab one thing, but it does pay for itself. So
yeah. We have the Rune Haver.
Although, funnily enough, Treachery actually is worse in this one as well because there's so much artifact mana.
Yes, that's one of the other reasons. You're not always getting the full untap. We have a Rune Haver if we want another. This is where we start picking up our white cards, clearly. I love that Grizzlebrand's still here. Like, nobody's on a reanimation strategy. Like... Mystical Tutor doesn't have powerful enough targets in this deck. Terminus ain't our speed. Arcane Artisan's okay, I suppose, but Rune Haver's cool.
Batterskull is library.
I mean,
oh, right, Batterskull Stoneforge.
Yeah.
Okay, hold up. I forgot they had Stoneforge for a second. It's like, oh wait, that's one of the higher value, like better targets. Hell yes.
That's one of the reasons I would like. So obviously the O-rings, like, nifty.
The 2-mana batter skulls are like unbeatable in
In
some
some
circumstances.
decks, like again, so we played against like that like mono red deck in round one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't see that one, but mono red will have a tremendous amount of trouble against 2-mana batter skull.
yeah, mono red. So, oh boy,
Time warp sounds like a good card to pick up. Yeah.
there's also a Sphinx's Rev here too.
Sphinx's Rev. Weird. This is not coming back.
I
Unfortunate.
know this is
If
we get
this
one
was,
card.
then I mean, if it was, it wasn't going to be a Sphinx's Rev anyway. It would probably be like
Angel of Invention, maybe if we're getting
Garruk
super
or
lucky.
Angel of Invention. Yeah.
We don't have any ramp, which was a problem for both of the cards. I'm gonna treat this as 2 combat phases and think that it's gonna be fine. Hi, Face Fighters, and a memory jar.
I mean, what is the bad situation of casting a time warp? There isn't one.
It's when it's explore.
Yeah. Okay. That's bad in quotes.
Yeah. So the other thing, as Pokemon brings up, why I was talking about ramp, time warp plus the buyback is an
Yeah.
auto win if we get to 9. Of course, we have no ramp, so that's like hella not happening. I'm looking at this. This is a memory jar deck, or if I just take the Face Fighters, I don't have a lot of removal, and I'm passing a lot of O-rings. Hey, there's that Elspeth back.
Nice. Monastery Mentor works off of any non-creature, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The reason Smuggler's Sculptor would also be like fine for us. Time Warp does not exile. It's one of the few copies of like Time Walk that doesn't exile.
It's like Time Warp and Time Walk itself both don't.
Cool.
Landing, Hallowed Spirit Keeper.
Here we're picking up like
This is always the nice thing about playing white in a cube.
Right.
Like you're playing with weaker cards, but you're also always getting all of the cards you see,
Right.
pretty much.
So we have a lot deeper pool to dig from. Right now we're at 25 in the main deck, counting our Flooded Strand. So like right now we're on like improvements rather than like filling things out.
And also for what it's worth, that advantage kind of goes away when you're not playing just with a group of 8, but
yeah. I don't think we're like you're right that the Wrath might have just been a better pick there, but I'm sitting here thinking like I still am unsure where this deck is. Anyway, there's Gideon Blackblade. There's a Hollowed Fountain. Hollowed Fountain, because we have Flooded Strand, goes up a lot in power. Like, this becomes our best piece of fixing.
Gideon with Blackblade is only a 4/4.
Yes.
Man, dog, you are not using that sword right.
I know,
You put that on literally anything else, and it turns into like a 12/12. What are you even doing?
Right, and there's like a full 3 mana already. Like, what is that sword giving you +1/+1?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Is that Blackblade one of the lore important swords of the game, or is it Lean and Scimitar?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it as you said. I think the Wrath might have been a more correct for this deck. I hadn't been counting how our creature count goes, but Wrath actually might be something we might be playing. We'll see. Maybe the Brainstorm Terminus makes it into the deck. Anyway, let's make this Hollowed Fountain.
Other Elspeth that also goes super wide.
There's also Cryptic Command and Counter.
There is also Cryptic Command here.
One of the reasons I'm thinking like we pick up one of those two here is that we've seen Elspeth's table.
Elspeth's tabled, and like you're also the one who's been picking up the White Walkers, so people aren't really going to be doing them to start with.
Yeah.
So that Cryptic is not, and Cryptic obviously will never table. Yeah. Never. Cryptic is, there's going to be one person playing blue enough to pick it, and if it's not you, then there's someone else.
I love Cryptic Command. It's like one of my favorite spells in Magic the Gathering. I guess it's pretty telling the era that I played a lot in when like, here's my favorite sets of cards. They're all from Lorwyn. One of the things, and the reason I still think I'm going to pick Cryptic here, it is super goddamn hard to lose games where you're casting Cryptic Command.
It's true.
I love
Even
it.
its weakest a
tap draw
form is tap draw. Or in some ways, bounce draw is also, but the thing is that's still basically a 2-for-1, you know?
Yeah. Ooh.
On color duel.
Just straight on color duel. I like, especially now that we did pick up Cryptic, having a little bit more fixing matters more.
What's the flip on Search for Escanta? I'm not saying you pick it, but I don't
It's
actually
actually quite
know.
powerful for us. It becomes a Narset activation on the 2/3 tap. Narset grabbing a non-creature, non-land, and putting it here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's sounds
Yeah,
pretty good. I don't think it's necessarily the pick, but that would be an option.
yeah. I think again because we just picked up this Cryptic, I feel like I do want our mana base to function.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go that route. Body and Mind, Ancient Tomb, another fetch.
Just so you are
Council's
aware,
Judgment.
I have been keeping in my mind the possible Rexur deck that we could have ended up having over the course of this, and it would have been terrible.
Yeah, one of the things that would have been strong about it is I think we would have had a turn of when we got that Grizzlebrand in pack 2, and that would have
Yeah,
turned. But
but
that's about the only powerful thing we would have been doing.
yeah, on top of that, I actually don't think I've seen Recurring Nightmare yet.
No,
So that's the other problem.
sort of Body and Mind. Council's Judgment again. I think Council's Judgment probably just tables because white cards.
The pink I would normally be like, oh hell yeah, sword, but at the same time, you have Batterskull with your Stoneforge instead, and
Yeah.
like, and having one other target, like having 2 targets total is probably as much as you'll ever need on it, right?
Yeah.
So
One of the things I talked about again when we got into this
on the
pack.
other hand, there's Jite.
Yeah, when we got into this pack was that we already had 25
Oh right,
cards here,
Bribery.
and so like anything that we can, we're looking at upgrades, and if we can make our mana base look nice, that makes our deck function better. Bribery.
Yeah. Bribery, on the other hand, is very real. Bribery is a non-creature spell. Bribery plays your opponent's deck,
Yeah,
and
we have a lot. God, one thing I miss. Our first pick was like Gideon versus like an Azorius Signet, and God, what I would
you want
give
that
for
Signet now.
what I
Yeah.
would give for an Azorius Signet in this deck. Treachery and Bribery feel really, really good indeed. I don't think Linvala does anything. Just pick this hanger back. I also like Honor of the Pure with like Monostar. Sure, I guess, but like, that's not.
Honor of the Pure, just like it in your deck, can sometimes make the game end 1 turn sooner. That's all it's doing. Monetize, if you want to have a white counter. Monetize's best quality here is in this deck is you're gonna tap out all of your blue, and they're gonna be like, "Oh right, shields are down," and you hit him with the spell, the Monetize.
Boom, got him, and then
It's extremely a mind games pick, you know.
You pick it up because I think Selfless
It also
Spirit
would be genuinely functional. So
yeah. All right, here's the final new pack. Okay, we got a land if we want to continue powering that up. We got a Parallax Wave.
Parallax Wave is targeted removal for 4 turns.
Yeah.
And also the on-color land, though.
Yeah, I think we just keep, like I said, our deck is already, like, you know, at the point where we're at, like, making cuts here. And I feel like it's pretty powerful. Let's keep getting...
Lands will not be cut, so...
Yeah, let's keep
going.
Playing these. Hey, Gids. I think I'm probably playing that over Student of Warfare. That's more what our deck is doing.
Yeah, it's Student of Warfare. In Vintage Cube, are you really gonna not have uses for your mana?
For us, we've got a lot. And of course, we got Angel of Sanctions ain't nothing. I'm gonna find pick because this is like an O-ring.
Was this the pick that had the?
Yeah, there was
This was the other Elspeth.
I think this is where the other Elspeth was.
This is also where Counterspell was.
Yes.
Yeah, this is where you pick the Cryptic over Counterspell and Elspeth. Yep. You don't have the artifact mana for Ravages of War.
sure.
Get your swords out. You probably play that one over Feast and Famine, I think.
Yeah, we're not a Feast and Famine deck outside of our Cryptic. So
Yeah.
you might wonder, like, wow, I even passed on that Geddon. I don't like Geddon at all in this cube. I think it's very it's weak unless you have a pile of artifact mana. And guess what? Everybody
And the
else in
thing
the
is that
world
your
has.
opponent could also have a pile of artifact mana.
Like there's
So
because this cube has like signets and like 15 other artifact rocks, and they're all like high picks. You know, Moxes, Signets, Grim Monolith, Basalt Monolith, Worn Power Stone, Thran Dynamo, Soul Ring, all sorts of things, and everybody has them. It's the reason I think Dak is so powerful. It's the reason I like leaning Relic Warder as well. Is the same reason I don't like it. All right, y'all have the board, except for Terminus because that like actually could be playable, and y'all out. Okay.
So 7 picks, 7 cuts.
Yeah, 7
8
cuts.
cuts.
And
I like pretty much all of your spells, is the thing about this.
yeah, there's not like I think the sword we swap out as we want, like
Maybe not balance. You're likely to have both more creatures and lands, I want to
it
say.
sucks because like we're likely to have more creatures and lands and even like under some circumstances cards like
Yeah.
but like balance is going to be a come from behind card that is
It really will save the day sometimes. Like you might, yeah, okay.
one of the problems with balance in this deck is that one of the most powerful positions to be in with balance is again the artifact pile. You know, when you're behind,
Yeah.
when your board is 2 signets and a box, and you balance, and those cards are basically not counted for anything.
So and at that point, you pretty much fill up your hand because your opponent has more cards in hand. You have no creatures, so they also sack all their creatures, and you put some. You also destroys your opponent's lands, right? If you don't have
Yeah.
equal. Yeah. So balance is a card that is easy to make really, really strong. Unfortunately, our deck is like the thing that's weak to it instead.
Looking at Gideon's a creature.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the other sword. We're gonna start with body and mind, and we'll swap it based on what protection is most relevant. It's a lot
What
of
are Blackblade's
5s.
actual activations? I don't.
Plus for like keyword on another creature, vigilance, lifelink, indestructible, or
And
indestructible,
exile target,
non-land.
not land. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of 5s. I agree. I probably want to just take out like the Angel of Sanctions alone, and maybe
Yeah, Angel Sanctions. Do you want that Hangerback Walker? You're not generating much mana, and I don't know if you're going to be slow enough to actually like do the tick up.
yeah.
And there are better targets for the Stoneforge, so
The
Stoneforge also doesn't really work with it on putting
you
it into play. It's just a tutor.
well, no, you can't even tutor it. It tutors equipment.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It grabble with the Trinket Mage from earlier, but
Mhm.
the Legion's Landing is questionable. The reason I like it is because it is actually like a way to cut a mana ramp in that like it flips and becomes a land, and it becomes a land that has like a good like long game effect.
Yeah.
But
I think that's fair. It's something to do on 1 as well, which is actually kind of important in the Vintage Cube.
yeah, still need 4 cuts.
Geist? Geist is a great sword holder and is a good, like, a difficult to answer threat, but
Thinking more if I was going to cut around there, I might cut this.
oh right, Hallowed Spirit Keeper. That sounds like a good cut.
It's like
Honestly,
the thing with it is that it's probably only going to trigger for like 1 or 2. It's going to be fine, but like Geist seems a little bit more effective when we do have the swords.
Yeah. What does Fairgrounds Warden do?
It's a Journey to Nowhere. It's like a
Oh,
removal.
okay,
We can
yeah.
probably cut it out.
It's like weirdly enough, I feel like less or just like a low but reasonable number of creatures is the way you'd want to go for this deck.
Yeah, cut out those two. Cut out a little bit more.
Faith's Fetters, it's kind of slow as far as and not incredibly effective as far as removal goes, right?
One of the things I like about it is that it is at least effective Planeswalker removal.
That's fair. Okay.
It's not like O-Ring, obviously, but uh, sorry, at the moment I don't have time to give you the assist on that. We're doing a cube ourselves here. Let me go with these two out.
I would recommend Revelark or Mulldrifter, but those aren't going anywhere. So
Yeah, I like them a little bit too much. They also recur most of what we have left. Maybe the Legion's Landing, because it's actually going to be quite
Geist
difficult.
is a 2-power creature.
It's two creatures. No, that won't work.
You attack 3 or more.
You don't attack with the token. The
It
token is
just
attacking.
becomes attacking. Yeah, it doesn't actually check the trigger on Legion's Landing. It tracks the trigger on attacking. And technically
Yes.
speaking, Geist of Saint Traft creates it on the step after of the
Yes.
attacks, right?
It's an interesting difference. Yeah, because it comes in attacking, but it did not attack.
Yeah.
Like,
Listen, friend of mine just made a video about Equinox, all right, and the shenanigans that go on with
Ooh.
Equinox. So there are some cards involving steps that don't really make much sense mechanically. It happens.
I think we either cut the Faith's Fetters or like the Mana Tithe. Maybe even the Gideon Black. No, Gideon's actually pretty good at like just being an aggressive bit of this
It's a
deck.
non-creature creature that actually is like above the curve, holds and is also indestructible. So
Yeah, so I think it's either Mana Tithe or Faith's Fetters.
I want to see the world in which you mana tithe them.
All right, then
You
let's.
just completely
All right,
ruined them on that.
let us live in that world. Then let us make the active choice to live in that world. I'm gonna pull in the
And this is
duels.
a
Mind groups. Sort by CMC.
you can put the face fetters back in sometimes, if you
Yes.
feel like it's not doing anything.
Well, the Fetters can come in two instances. One, where like we have things we need to answer that the Fetters needs to answer, and two, mono red.
Yeah.
Like,
Equinox is the weird land protection spell, right? Yes. It also,
yeah.
technically speaking, requires you to be able to predict the future.
Yes, like Wild Swing or
The weird
was
the
the one
weirdness
that's
about it is if you create a manland with 3 or less toughness and you cast lightning bolt on that manland, you actually cannot use Equinox to save it because the damage
it
does
won't
not
kill
actually
it.
technically kill creatures.
Yeah. So like the your activated creeping tar pit, or Mutavault won't. It does not die to lightning bolt. It dies to lethal damage being assigned to it and state-based effects killing it the next time they're checked. It's
Yes.
anyway. Let's go ahead and play some Magic.
The rules are as written are damage equal to or greater than the creature's toughness kill a creature,
So
which is actually not dealing damage kills the creature.
weird. So this deck, what it's missing, 2 signets.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, any artifact mana,
yeah.
really. Artifact mana is the thing that this deck is missing so hard. And
like mostly I'm looking at these 5s and I'm saying, like, I know Mulldrifter can be a 3. I know Batterskull we can play earlier, but like it's so goddamn top heavy.
yeah, this is a slow deck, and that can be kind of scary. This is a deck with absolutely nothing. This is a hand with absolutely nothing. This is better.
This is a way better hand.
This is way better. This is a Stoneforge bringing down Batterskull on turn 3.
I'll just go put a Plains on bottom or something.
Yeah. If you got Fountain and Tundra in hand, hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay, well, here's land tax actually doing something instead.
That resolves. I'm not gonna not play my land.
Yeah. Land tax is a card that is difficult to play around because you don't actually ever want to play around it because it's bad for your deck. You only ever do it when you really distinctly don't need to play cards.
What do we want here?
I was gonna say the Batter Skull, but it's kind of a 50-50 chance of whether or not the sword is better or not,
Right,
really.
like,
You know?
if they played a plains, it'd be a little more. But like, I don't actually know what their color scheme is, and like, if we can hit with that body in mind.
So they're white-green at least, and they could be anything else as well.
Grab that body in mind.
Definitely white if they're playing land tax.
Yeah, clearly. So this actually makes me think they are green, because this isn't the land you use for a splash, because you can't.
Oh wait, hold up. Land tax just asks for basic lands. It doesn't go for just plains.
No, it's basic land.
Oh, that's better than I thought.
Yeah. So this is where we're gonna see what colors they are.
Yeah.
Mono
okay,
white,
they're almost mono white then.
Okay.
In that case, I think the sword was
worse.
Worse, yeah. But that's fine. They still don't have anything to play.
But they discarded a forest. Okay, so they are green.
Yeah. But I think that if they're discarding that forest, then they're not as green as they are white. Because they grabbed 3 planes, and they kept all 3 planes.
Yeah.
They were looking for double white here. They're going to play Hero Bladehold?
Something that big?
Smoke, stack. They're white-green stacks?
Buddy, I'm going to hit you with a sword of body in mind.
You're going to lose so fast. You're destroying... You're losing your own chance to win the game when playing that. Alright, I don't understand what their deck is... Okay, I understand what the deck is doing. They're going to be sacrificing their lands constantly to smokestack.
Right, and then they're going to be getting more back with land tax.
Yeah. But at the same time, that is a very strange but interesting way to play with that card. Anyway, mill 20.
Yeah, mill 10. It's not mill 20.
It's mill 20 basically. 20 and 10 is the same.
They're on 25 cards in deck because they've been searching all the land. And show me Grave, please. What? Get bigger.
Land tax is a May, right?
Winter Orb, Baneslayer, Ugin, Dismember, Wind Channel. Okay, this is us learning.
This is an interesting deck.
I want to bribe this player.
This isn't like one of the archetypes in the cube. This is just them kind of choosing to play green-white, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so then they're going to go grab more lands. I'm not even tracking, like... I think they have 3 or 4 planes in hand right now.
Yeah, Channel Ugin is probably one of their main plans, actually.
Yeah.
Just, forest, channel, play Ugin. Now your opponent kind of loses because you have an onboard Wrath against colored permanents and also a bolt every turn.
Alright, and then there's Gideon to make a token for them to sack to smokestack.
Technically speaking, snacks could absolutely be in any color.
Oh.
There's nothing saying that it has to. It is an artifact, and it's...
That
is what it is.
I just wanna... So let's, they have Channel, which makes me want to resolve a bribery. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and sack a wolf.
They also have a Baneslayer that they got rid of, so they're playing some form of decent large white or green creatures. They might also be like Tooth and Nailing and stuff like that.
Yeah. Alright. Bribery gets us.
Sundering Titan, Emrakul. Emrakul, the Promised End. also known as literally the best bribery target in the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Emrakul, the 1515.
Oh, right. Sorry. Through the Discord side stream, 13 and 15 look pretty similar. Also,
Yeah.
I'm blind, like almost literally.
Sweet. Tristani, of course. And
Yep. Just
I'm just gonna take your cooling.
yeah, that's
Okay, so here's
action from instance.
So here's the thing. I couldn't take Tristani because Tristani would result in us losing. This also could result in us losing. But we'll see. They have a 1 in 13 of drawing the card that, like, oh, they can see.
Okay, yeah, no, you resolved Emrakul,
so
the Promised End, though.
They should have taken their draw because their deck contains Tristani. Tristani has the text at the end of the turn: return all creatures to their owner's control.
Mm-hmm. Which means that, yeah, you could beat it, but
right, if they top deck Tristani and then just take the Emrakul back. Anyway, let's go sideboard. So, stacks. I want like Legion's Landing. Like, that's 2 permanents. What else would we want? Do we want to swap the sword?
Do you?
I think this is still good.
Yeah, I think this is still plenty fine. Like, what would you swap it to? You that's one of the 2 relevant protections.
So the 2 cards I'm thinking bringing in would be like Hollowed Spirit Keeper and Legion's Landing, because they both are like anti-stacks style things where like Hollowed Spirit Keeper makes tokens on death and Legion's Landing is 2 permanents for a stacks. It seems like they're pretty committed to the bit, as it were.
They're very much on the plan of like almost all of their cards are working with it, except for Ugin Channel and
right. They just have an Ugin Channel side of their deck,
and also Baneslayer there because it's Baneslayer Angel. You know,
taking the Mana Tithe, and I'm gonna take out. It's like Bribery, Treachery are all really strong, though Tristani does blank them.
Sundering Titan and
Baneslayer
Emrakul are also both channel targets. Yeah, no, they're actually strongly. They've got a lot of channel targets in their deck. I think that was probably their first plan. You know, going for that first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Although weirdly enough, channel does not really play very nicely with stack. Because, like, if you wanted to go all in and just play everything, all right, I'm going to pay 17. I'm spilling all my blood on the table for stacks and Emrakul, so you can't even, like, play something. Well, you don't really have that many turns to live on that.
What do they have for Relic Warder? A lot.
This is a 1 mana hand.
So the Relic Warder, we saw Signets, which is the main target. Smokestack, the main target. You know, like, there's all sorts of, you know, this is just
kind of a rough hand.
This is just asking to, like...
This is extremely asking to lose because you don't draw lands, yeah. This is okay.
Yeah, I'd probably just put the Revel Arc away.
Yeah.
And this is fine. We have cards for the next couple turns. We have shuffle effects. We'll get you back, Revel Arc. They mold a 6 as well. All right.
Monastery Mentor is nice to see, actually.
Monastery Mentor is very good against stacks.
Yeah. Swords on your... What did they just counter?
They just... Swords are
Giver Runes, right.
Yeah.
The Gom, as we like to call it.
All like that.
All right. So this time, you grab Biter Skull, right?
Yeah, I think we do just grab Batter Skull this time around. Cool thing about Batter Skull is that it makes Smokestack useless.
Yeah, you just sack the Germ token over and over again.
Yeah. Oh my god!
Well, too late, buddy.
All right.
I mean, yeah, it gets rid of your cheap into put into play, but,
Yeah, but
I mean, you still have it in hand now.
you know what's sweet? Is an opponent using all their goddamn removal in the universe, and I get to play Monastery Mentor on 3.
Yeah. Unless the reason why they're playing all of their removal is because they just have nothing but left in their hand.
2
I
cards
didn't
left.
see that much in their deck on the like top 15 is the thing though.
Yeah, I think they're gonna just play a Baneslayer pass here.
Mm-hmm. Tristani.
Okay, so that makes that's the one that makes theft bad.
Yes.
So don't bribery into this card. However, it just means I play Gideon and pass.
Get you a 1/1, and you have also Gideon is there.
What? They've made a mistake.
They're playing it just to have extra mana, I think.
They tap that incorrectly. You're supposed to leave this up and tap it for your extra mana in case they draw into, Anyway.
Yeah. Playing with Coalition Relic is actually a little bit complicated for what it's worth.
More Gideons.
All right, how about that Gideon to leave up?
I feel like I still want to play this one because this just starts making 2/2s.
That's fair.
That immediately answers like what our opponent is doing.
Mm-hmm. Oh right, that one is also only creature during your turns.
Yes.
I thought it was the other way around for whatever reason.
8/8/2/2. Uh-huh. Two cards in hand. Like our opponent again, they mulled the 6. Oh, and that's
Really? They just gave up? That just means they lost the match. Why'd they just give up?
Must have just a nothing hand and like
they just sure.
Assume they can't beat what we have left here because they know Batter Skull, right? Like they know.
Yeah, they do know Batter Skull's in your hand, but they don't necessarily know that you can play it.
Right.
I mean, if you could, it would be backbreaking because that's a Monastery Mentor activation.
And
also
4/4 that attacks.
4/4 Vigilance Lifelinker.
All right. Our opponent Lucario without the ooh has been
Lucario.
Defeated. Lucario. Yeah. One of the.
They're Welsh.
Ah, okay. I was gonna say they were a Mario brother of some sort.
Well, that's also true. The third Mario brother is Welsh.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. That sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what I will say, really liked what our opponent's deck had.
Like, it was very creative. I thought it was rad. Yeah.
Like the idea of smokestack with like instead of smokestack with like your normal outs, it's like smokestack with like Elspeth Gideon, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I am ready. Oh. I am ready to mana tithe somebody super hard right now.
Hell yes.
Keep
mana tithe, treachery, and Narset in addition to reasonable land coverage.
Don't you dare Thoughtseize my No.
They're hitting. Well, the fact that they know that the mana
they know the mana tithe's now.
Yeah.
They're also probably hitting Narset unless they are
hitting
super
Narset or treachery.
Right,
absolutely.
Right. Well, they can't hit treachery. This is Inquisition, so 3 or less.
Right, okay.
So I think you hit the mana tithe. Like, is their turn 2? No. Bye, Narset.
If they did hit the mana tithe, that would be like they're playing on a level too high for us, and we just give up immediately.
Right, that means they're like gonna him to Turok me on too. Like
exactly.
All right, come on.
There was a game in which I did him to Turok my opponent on 2 once, and it turns out that they were playing Reanimator, and I just put a Grizzlebrand and like something else in their grave. Okay, they are.
Oh my god, they played the Mox as counter my mana tithe.
That's exceptionally strong.
Okay, we're gonna Flooded Strand so that we can get our other duel, and then
Ah, dang. I guess maybe you should have mana-tithed the Mox.
That wouldn't have stopped their play. So they tap the swamp, and then they still get to play the Lutriel Core.
Yeah.
This way, the Mana Tithe is still at hand, and they still have to play around it, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, the existence of it. So this is where they discard, like, the Grizzler.
Mm-hmm. Either that or
No!
Toxic Deluge?
Okay, so they don't have
Okay, that's actually good to not see happen.
Yeah, because that kills my Geist Sanctraft.
That kills Geist the Same Traff and a whole bunch of other stuff, really. Toxic Deluge can kill anything. That's part of why it's as good as it is.
Yeah, I love Toxic Deluge. Anyway, let's go grab our Hollowed Fountain. Don't want to play 2 life, thanks very much. Do we want to... You son of a bitch!
Vendilion Click, huh?
With 1 up.
Alright.
Fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. There's no problems here. The fact that they know about this Mana Tithe is killing me.
Yeah, it is. It is tragically a completely worthless card if they know they just need to play around it, you know?
Uh-huh.
It's so easy to.
So goodbye, Geist.
I mean, I guess now you're playing the Soulfire Grandmaster is not really an option anymore.
This thing left lifelink. Yeah, so they attack for 4. They get to loot, which is sweet. Discarding... Are they actually any sort of reanimator is the main question.
I don't think they are. This is just me making a blank assumption because they are playing a card that's like a good discard outlet. That is... Okay, that feels like it's just straight up like taunting you.
I know, right? Stop it!
Oh wow, they got some serious power on their draft.
I'm so like they just keep having these moxes and stay like your Mana Tithe doesn't work. Yeah, you can't play a 5-drop. Get out of here. It doesn't work. 5-drop's not allowed. I've got Pathex on that. Alright, I'm gonna attack for 2 lifelink.
Soulfire Grandmaster and Path is also...
If we get to 5,
yeah.
that starts looking really strong.
It does also give them 1,000,000 mana, doesn't it, technically speaking?
What do I care? I can't do anything with the stupid... You can have all the mana in the world. I've stopped caring.
Fair enough.
What? Wait, no. I can buy back.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Uh-huh.
So the worst part about this is that Luteral Core is actually just kicking your ass.
Yeah.
It's mostly the V-Click, actually, but Luteral Core is also kicking your ass.
I think, like, I'm life gaining through it, but, like, the fact that they're getting to, like, sculpt their hand scares me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't actually want a treachery unless they're tapped out, and they know we have treachery, so why would they tap out? You know, like, that sort of thing.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, discarding a land makes most sense. Oh my god.
Shikma? Evoked?
Because we don't have...
Alright then.
They could have played it, but, you know.
But they didn't because they wouldn't have been able to work around Mana Tithe if they did.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's that. The fact that you know that they know that it's in your hand means that they've been playing slightly. That is great to see. Now now you can like do a double blind on them by hitting them with the mana tide they pay for, and then you cryptic them because that's definitely the smart move.
I'm thinking I might path that looter. Because I don't want them to keep sculpting this hand.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, at the same time, they've actually been off one land, and that might actually be relevant.
Yeah. Well, they did discard a land.
Oh, right. Okay. I wonder what their deck actually does then. What if they're playing that Bolus and they just realize that they don't have triple black?
They would have tutored the black then. Instead of the island.
Yeah.
So I don't think the Bolus is in their deck. I'm going to attack and then try to get something with this cryptic end step. Because I don't want to tap out for treachery. I feel like they've got some sort of counter spell up.
Gonti.
Target spell.
Is this going to be counterspell
God,
proper?
it's counterspell proper. That's fine. That means my treachery's on next turn.
You could absolutely force it with Naya.
They already discarded Spell Pierce, so. Well, at least we get to start playing our haymakers. That's what the deck is supposed to do, right?
Yeah, more or less. All right. So do you treachery the V-click or the Gonti?
I'm gonna go with the V-click because that's gives us an evasive threat, whereas the Gonti I can like block on the ground. Hell, I can block on the ground and they get to steal a spell from us, and that's a little dangerous. Yeah, we do have some haymakers that'd be annoying. I guess bribery, I guess, doesn't do too much. So we're gonna go to 6. Treachery on tap, Elspeth, pass turn. And wish we had a way to loot away the mana tithe.
So one of the great things about treachery here is that you get to leave up the mana tithe just in case here, as well as you have Elspeth down this turn as well. So they've only got one card in hand.
Yep. They have a card stolen from us as well. Not that one. I think worst case would be something like Mystic Confluence.
And the worst thing that they could do with it is Mystic Confluence bounces, counters miscalcs, or draws a card. So
Mana leaks, but yes.
mana leaks, right? Yeah. In that case, like the most dangerous thing it could do is just draw 3, right? Basically, because they would bounce their V click.
Yeah.
Is what that would do with it as part of it.
And we can't
Bounce
stop
the V
that.
click, draw 2, probably. Maybe bounce 2, draw 1, but probably not.
Mulldrifter might be the most powerful thing we can do.
Mulldrifter, huh?
Yeah.
The worst part about it is Mulldrifter being, the mental damage of it betraying you.
I know.
They're playing that Mox just for as a free mana. I think it's just free generic.
The
mana
Mox
right
Ruby
there.
is just it's there to make my mana tithe bad.
Yeah. Okay, that's their Mulldrifter. They had their own.
That's not even a betrayal Mulldrifter. That's just a Mulldrifter. Speaking of which, can we have one of those? 2 cards in hand and one of our stolen cards. Okay. So here's the thing not to do. Don't give this Pro Blue.
Yeah, because it'll cause the treasury to fall off.
Just don't do it.
You could do Pro Black.
Yes.
That'd be pretty fine. But Pro Blue? No, don't do it.
I held the island because they know the mana tithe. They don't know the island, and I want to keep them a little bit on their toes.
Protection is a weird mechanic, and I am quite surprised, frankly, that they decided to bring it back as Evergreen, basically.
Yeah.
They're returning the treachery to your hand.
No, they're returning the V-click to their hand.
Right. Yes. Okay. So.
I think the way Adventure works, they get to cast the Adventure. This is on an Adventure in exile on their side. I cannot cast this.
Dang.
Because they cast the Adventure, even though it's in my exile.
This is game 1 still, right? I think.
Yeah. The one thing I thought about giving it Pro Blue, which would have given them back the thing, but not given them the Brazen Borrower. Yeah, this is game 1. The reason I chose not to is because of how much of a mana investment both of those cards are at the moment.
All you really have to do is draw not lands. That's the main thing you got to do.
Yeah, we do have a problem of like damage coming in here. We need to draw something like now, though.
Time Warp is something now for, well, it's something later, technically.
Well, it's not something at all.
Oh, right. Vanillion Click is gone.
Because I gave them
makes it gone.
Right.
Forgot about that.
All right, in that case, maybe, perhaps. See, I wanted them to see the mana tithe and then put the mana tithe on the bottom of my damn deck. All right, let's move to game 2. They've got a lot of flyers. I can't believe how owned that mana tithe was all match. Just obliterated forever.
I have a feeling they'll probably continue to play around it, even not knowing you have it in your hand.
Right.
So,
I think it's done its work in this match.
Far and away, its best quality is it just being unexpected. So now that they know about it, it's not really going to do much.
Yeah.
Would you prefer Legion's Lanting or Faith's Fetters over it?
Almost thinking maybe that condemn.
Condemn?
So we can... Basically, the thing is, if we could stop the stupid looter, that's a lot of their hand that's off.
Yeah. A good chunk of that, like, control over what you were able to do was probably off the back of the looter.
Yeah. We'll try that. I guess I'd like to play first. Yeah, it's fine. Not gonna fetch. Higher odds we draw a way to play. Yeah, second white. And this is just. Grab that Tundra. I want them to play Luterial Core.
Dark.
Oh, I can't Narset that draw.
Because they don't actually draw it.
Uh-huh.
They just put it in the top of their hand. That's unfortunately very frequently relevant. Don't worry about it. Bob will kill them.
Yeah.
At any cost.
I will play Bob in so many decks. I love Bob.
Including, and I've seen you do it, exceptionally unsafe decks to play Bob.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Provoking Shriek Mod to get rid of Soulfire Grandmaster again makes sense.
Yep. So we have to attack with Gideon.
Weirdly enough, with how Gideon Blackblade works, he's actually more fragile than a regular creature. Because he can be destroyed by just counting up damage, functionally.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. That's actually a hard ask, I feel like, between these two. Mystic Confluence would be great to...
I'm going to go with the Confluence. And then I'm going to proceed with 0 targets.
Here's 4 damage.
So the reason, like, obviously grabbing Path would be worth it is that we can cast it, but I actually am not in a situation where I want to Path at the moment. I want to Mystic Confluence, one of their big plays.
They took 4.
They revealed Cryptic.
Oh. Well. I reveal Mystic Confluence. I reveal Cryptic Command.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a standoff,
Yeah.
is what it is.
Nobody moves. They took 4 for that, though, so... You know,
Yeah.
Gideon is the clock. Attack at
They're
Narset.
targeting Narset instead. They don't want you to activate Narset again.
They don't want another. Yeah. So we can't just bribery. That step, we are gonna... Pay 2 life, yes, please. Now, the paying 2 life there is a sign.
You get, oh, I see. I get it. That's telling them, yo, I've got Mystic Time.
I'm going to. Okay, that's fine.
That's fine, because all that's doing is resetting his loyalty, which was already at 4. But don't worry about it.
Is it worth trying to resolve a bribery through this? I guess they get to bounce whatever we grab. That's a problem.
Yeah, that means that you tutored a card for them at that point.
Yeah. Just replay the Gideon and pass.
There's also the possibility they know about the Mystic Confluence is the worst part here. And you know about the Cryptic Command, so it's a complicated situation where everyone knows everything that the backbreakers of each other's deck right now. So yeah, I think the bribery is you either let them Cryptic this, which they can't, but you let them Cryptic this after you play it, basically.
Okay, so they do have a counterspell. They do have counterspell. Okay.
Okay.
That's the part that like could backfire, and like we have to get these out of their hands sooner or later.
Yeah.
Killer now is that Bob is now, without pressure, Bob is now very powerful.
Yeah. You're very much just relying on luck for Bob to defeat your opponent, which
that never happens.
Most of the time it won't. So.
Yeah, do not try to kill your opponent through Bob damage. That like as your plan A. just don't.
On average, a third of a deck's cards are lands, which means on average, the third of the time, Bob will hit nothing on and just draw a card.
What is this?
And then there are very few haymakers.
From Mulldrifter?
Deck, so. I don't know, but it's a 5-mana play, which means it's probably going to be big.
I chose not to do it.
Decided against it because it probably has flash or something.
Okay, we know they have Cryptic in their hand, so we have to kind of like wait.
Do you want to counter that because that means the Cryptic is down? They probably can't.
Well, this is our end step.
Right, your end step.
Yeah. I could counter it and draw 2.
But you'd have to wait a turn to be able to use them. You're not really in that dangerous of a situation. You have the Gideon that you could put down at any time to get in the way of the Dark Confidant. So yeah, I'm saying that like keeping it this way while also drawing 2 cards sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
This also feels like they're drawing the Mystic Confluence out of you.
I think that's what this is. I think this is them getting us to cast Mystic Confluence.
However, you're leaving up Mana Tithe.
They have Spell Pierce in their deck as well.
Yeah, we did see that. Geist and Elspeth both seem like pretty good draws.
There's that Spell Pierce. Now they have it.
They've got 2 counters in their hand right now. Also, it's 7 cards.
Ooh, tapping out for Mulldrifter. Okay, this is actually a really good, like, chance for us, right?
They're tapping out in quotes. We do know that they have the Spell Pierce up.
But what that means is that we, like, so say we play our Gideon Blackblade and then we play our Geist of St. Treff, you know,
Yes.
We need
because you can pay for the Gideon, they'll probably not play the Spell Pierce, and then they can't counter the Geist, if that's the case.
Yeah, that... Also, the other card was Swamp. Okay.
Stoneforge as well. You don't get to counter
no
a Sword of Batterskull coming down through Stoneforge, so that's also a good option like later on. I mean, they countered the Stoneforge probably, but
so one thing that's going to be really powerful here is I think it's going to be landing Like, I think we go Stoneforge Geist here.
I see it. Yeah, I get you.
And then, because Geist is a hexproof threat, and if we give it the sword.
Yes. It can't be blocked by the Mulldrifter. It's just Bob that it's able to deal with it.
Yeah, and they can't cryptic to bounce it, they can only cryptic tap your team.
And like Mulldrifter also can't block the what do you call it?
The
The Angel. Yeah.
Mulldrifter
Mulldrifter can't block the Angel because it's a 4/4.
Well, it could chump it.
Yeah, it can chump it, but that's one turn, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's relevant when you're down to 9 mana, but still 9 health.
Also, cannot counter the.
Yeah, coming into play with the effect, the ability, unless they have counter target activated ability.
Yeah, I don't think Stifle exists in here.
It probably doesn't.
You son of a.
Yo, nice get.
Yeah, they're playing those overlands, obviously, so it's still fine for them to. All right, well that answers our sword.
There goes the sword, but you still have other plays here. Like you could just also play Elspeth and jump the Geist, you know?
Right, and they would have to cryptic that.
Yeah.
So I think they have to take the sword. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
I would target the sword.
Take the sword.
Yeah. Come on, give him the sword.
We watched Kung Pao yesterday, and I was so happy about it actually being as good as it was.
Kung Pao does, in fact, still hold up for the most part.
I was scared it wasn't, and there are bits where it's like, here's a bad joke, here's a...
Yeah, but there are fewer than you think for a movie that came out in like 2002 or something. It's like much funnier than it has any right being, really.
Yeah, and there's a lot of jokes that are like just way, way better than they should be. Like,
yeah.
All right, I think. So they got Gideon under a kite sail.
My recommendation is soon after watching it while it's still fresh in your mind, go watch Tiger and Crane Fist as well.
Okay.
Because that's the movie that most of that movie's based on.
So if I play Elspeth, that could just be our, like, bait out the... Basically get the cryptic gone here, right?
Yeah, because you do that, and then there is a game-ending threat in the form of Geist is a 5/5 flyer, the Angel is a 4/4 flyer. They need to block one or both of those, or they die. So that will draw out the cryptic, flat out.
For that joke to have held up, it would have had to have been funny in the first place.
The cow was the worst joke in the movie by far, and probably wasn't even the writer's decision. It was like a producer thing.
It was part of the trailer, so I assume it was just that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
just force it, I think. There's like, what do you do otherwise?
Yeah.
You have the brainstorm, they could figure something out, but
okay, this has to be your cryptic command.
Cryptic for counter draw, probably.
Yep.
Maybe counter tap and they just get in. Counter draw. Well, the thing is that Brainstorm would get Spell Pierce, probably. Well, no, it can't actually right now.
No, they didn't have...
tapped all the blue.
Yeah. I didn't realize they didn't have that much blue up. I don't want to attack here.
Would you do it on the... Yeah, this is the one of the few times you're going to be able to do this safely, so...
Anything I want to borrow right now while they're tapped out? I don't think so. I think I just let them.
Like, the best you could do is prevent them from drawing one off of our Confidant.
There's V-Click.
Okay, they took 3.
Yeah. One thing I'm happy about is that they're playing a lot of swamps when they have a lot of blue cards.
Yeah. They're probably playing the V. Ashiok.
Okay.
Well, goodbye your hand.
That's fine.
Between the V-Click and Ashiok, you know?
Okay, so that
Oh,
XL...
no, Ashiok doesn't interact with your hand.
Oh, no, this rules. This rules. Please. My top 3 suck. My top 3 suck ass. I know them.
Right, yeah.
I don't give a crap. Wait a minute.
You know, it's an interesting thing to do that after playing Brainstorm. You know, like, you know that your opponent just put, like, 2 on top of their library that they're not as fond of with the rest of their hand. I didn't even think about that until you mentioned it. Okay, they're finally got in, like, their second points of damage of the entire game.
Okay, so they're gonna...
Test.
This sucks. We're gonna lose a Gideon.
Here comes the V-Click to... Hey. Revelark's a 4/3 flyer.
I know.
I think that's actually the thing you're gonna do, is just play Revelark as a flyer to beat your opponent in.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to bounce the freebooter here. Not yet. Mostly because I don't want to use my mana at the moment. I have a couple ideas of what I want to be doing.
Okay, there we go. You can Better Skull and put down the Gideon. Oh, man.
I could also
Geist wearing that Batter Skull, though.
They have to block with their entire board to kill it.
And it's Batter Skull, so that does nothing, pretty much. You know?
Right.
It's a little slow, but picking up Batter Skull is, what, 3, and then Stoneforge puts it back down for 2?
Their best play would be to play Arlene and Relic Warder out from under that Ashiok.
Yeah. Even then, though, they need to do that, like, the moment they can, and this ruins their board, so...
This also attacks them, you know, for...
Yeah.
I'm attacking them. They probably block with Confidant, if nothing else.
This is an opportunity to get rid of Bob, yeah, so... Okay, they're blocking all of the their plan is, in fact, to do the Relic Warder play, which
That's
makes
fine.
sense. That still means that you'll just be able to attack with Geist, like, in the following turns now, unless they don't... Yeah, they have to leave everything back now, period. They're down at 6 and you're at 22.
And we have a Gideon and a Revelark.
Yeah.
So X equals 2.
Do you have anything in your grave right now to target with Revelark?
I've got a Soulfire Grandmaster.
Okay. That's not nothing, is basically what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. So if this Arlene and Relic Warder dies, they're in a very bad way as well, so, you know.
Yeah.
So their hand is a... Spell Pierce.
Spell Pierce and 3 additional cards.
Yep.
Okay. 5 black. They're leaving up blue entirely.
Grave Titan?
We did see Grave Titan in their grave at one point, didn't we? That's not great.
No, it's not.
That's quite bad, in fact. That's Grave Titan.
As Grave Titan do.
Bitter Blossom. Okay, now things are bad.
Yeah.
That's an army in a can right there.
They got Spell Pierce up still.
What's the chance that they drew that Grave Titan? Therefore, meaning that Bob probably could have snubbed them for 6.
At some point, yeah. I think I'm just gonna play Gideon, make a token, and I don't. God, how am I overwhelming this? Revelark sort of works as an attacker. Okay, and then I could Anthem, but Anthem doesn't do anything right now. Let's make it 2-2 and then see if they go after Gideon, right? Like, they don't have lethal damage flying against Gideon, so they'll have to put something else against it. And if they let us, like, kill our Stoneforge, I can... Actually, no, Swords in the Grave too. Shit, we don't have any targets left. Okay.
They really controlled the hell out of your hand and like board over the course of this.
Yeah.
Hold out for 5 more turns. A Bitter Blossom kills them.
We deck before that.
I know. I'm goofing.
What is exiled? No, our Cryptic! Ugh. Damn it.
Ouch.
Cryptic was one of our outs. Cryptic was one of our real outs. Tap your team attack for lethal, you know?
The only thing you really have to do, actually, is make sure that the angel gets in.
Yeah.
Do you have any way to do that? You still have Mystic Confluence bouncing to, you know, the...
So there's only the Fairy Rogue now.
Yeah, the Fairy Rogue is the only thing you need to... Yeah. I think that's the way you win. You just get that Fairy Rogue out of the way, you swing in, you get the 4 from the flyer.
We also have Revelark as a backup 4-power flyer.
Yeah.
So, Path to Exile is in our deck still. Path, the Fairy Token attack. Treachery is in our deck still. Treachery, the Fairy Rogue token and attack.
If they have a Necrotal in their deck somewhere, that would work.
This is everything at...
Oh, the Bribery, right. Whoops, you already used the Bribery. Treachery is
Treachery.
One of your plans, yeah.
So, this is everything at Gideon, so there's no point in any blocks.
Wait a second. Pro black on your
next
guys'
turn.
Sanctract.
Next turn.
Next turn. Right, yes. Ah, right. It doesn't have haste.
Yeah.
Okay. They need to leave back the... They need to leave back all of their flyers. And even then...
We still have both Treachery and Path in our deck.
Yeah. And you can block enough to not die here, so... They did attack with the Mulldrifter as well.
How much is this? They have a Mulldrifter they get to play from their cards in the back.
Right. Still, they attacked with the Fairy Rogue, which means that they have...
I think we can still win.
You can still win for certain. It's just harder now.
No, because we have 2 lethal attackers. And a Giver of Runes.
Okay, right, yeah. If they just... Cyclonic Rift overloaded is another thing they could just do right now, I think.
Yeah, whatever. That's fine.
They got 4 cards in hand. Hopefully all they got is just like creatures to put on the board.
Yeah. Because if they play the Mulldrifter, they'll give them 2 different blockers of 2 different... Oh, they're going to Rakdos return, kill me. This is a fireball. Oh, it's not.
Glenalundra Archmage, which
is a flying blocker. That means my only out is
counter target spell on Glenalundra Archmage, though.
Shit.
So actually, that's one of the best things in the way possible. Okay.
No, there's no way to get through. Like,
I don't think so anymore.
Because I have 2 flyers, they have 2 blockers, I can give 1 protection.
But they can just reassign the blocker to the color that's not being protected from right now, basically.
Yeah.
There's no spell that would be relevant because Glenalundra Archmage can just counter it. And... yeah, I don't think so.
Pro Black the Germ token would mean they would have to...
Okay. For Black the Germ token, which means they would have to block with the Glen... Okay.
And then that should be lethal?
Yeah, okay. That might... Huh. I didn't think about that.
That's why I didn't, like, concede, as I had to sit here and think, thank you, Duetic, for calling that one out. I think
that is a good line of thought, yeah.
I think if they have nothing here, they'll die. I didn't even activate Gideon because this is just as it is.
Okay, that was one thing that both us and the opponent overlooked. Okay. They needed to leave back another. They needed to leave back the Mulldrifter, basically.
Narset's out. Condemn is out. Thank you very much on that one. That call out.
That was a good eye on it. Yeah.
All right, so we have to board in the aggro, Craig. By the way, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, you've got 3 minutes. You have to go real fast.
We're gonna take out some of these.
Time Warp is another attacking round, so you keep that one in.
And
Mystic Confluence gets blockers out of the way.
Mulldrifter draws 2, or Mulldrifter's out.
Batterskull definitely stays in because the Stoneforge Batterskull plan is one of your most aggro possible.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we need one more cut. Time Warp's another combat phase.
Yeah. Time Warp, you play that after swinging in, you just do it again. That's what that means.
You keep one of the... Which
Nope,
sword do
not
we
Body and
want?
Mind?
Which
I
sword do
feel
we?
like Body and Mind's the fastest of these.
Yeah, but the Pro Black is. I want a Pro Black
He's
sword in
relevant.
here because they have Bitter
Yeah.
Blossom.
Light and Shadow can pick up dead creatures and put them back in your hand. Primarily Soulfire Grandmaster and Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah. So we want like a good
Relic
1,
Lord
2,
that
3
aren't as
curve.
annoying, but
Let me get rid of the Confluence. All right. So the beatdown.
Oh, you've got 2.5 minutes. Okay.
All right, this is keepable.
S has a curve out.
What do we want
So
to
long as you
throw?
draw a plains. You get rid of the cryptic, right?
Yeah, I hate to, but I will.
It's like there's no other option. You're not going to be getting it, and cryptic is far too cerebral of a card to play quickly.
Cryptic's only modes in my mind are tap their team and draw.
Okay, the real reason why you get rid of it is because it costs triple blue.
That's the actual reason I got rid of an island.
Okay, nice. Good to see. They're off black right now, it seems like. Nope, never mind.
Okay.
In fact, they were just on correct mana. But they also haven't played anything yet. Counter, okay. It'd be pretty wonderful if they had the most time-wasting possible hand.
So you're gonna get a Brazen Borrower. Get loose for 2.
Yep, they lose for 2. What's the sweet spot for Elspeth? You make 2 1/1s and then
I think for us, we probably just start jumping. I don't know. They're on 2 cards in hand now. I need an untapped land, so anything but Seachrome Coast. You know what?
that could end the game quickly. If you keep on drawing either non-creatures or lands. Land would be ideal.
Land. Mulldrifter for draw.
Hello.
That's our Batter Skull.
Okay. This is going to be an instance where owned by Sly09 is going to be very true.
Mm-hmm.
That's miserable to fight against in this instance.
Yes, it is, especially because I played out the Relic Warder.
It was a bear. You needed that.
Whatever, I'm still going to win.
You draw any land at all, and you are definitively winning. Yeah, you block with a relic, don't you? Or not at all? Yeah.
I don't block at all. It doesn't kill Elspeth. It doesn't do anything.
There you go. Okay, they just need to not have their own cryptic right now, basically.
Yep. Because then I can jump the Mentor for 6 and then jump the Mentor for 5.
Xaxes.
Yes.
Plus, this is also discounting whatever draw you get. But here comes the cryptic. It's exactly the man. Yeah, they've got the cryptic.
Okay. That's fine.
There is still a path which you win this game. It's just not exceptionally likely.
Mm-hmm. Problem is they can equip that batter skull.
Yeah.
And they probably should just equip batter skull and in. Then I'll need to draw Path to Exile, which is still in my deck. Cryptic is not. There's the equip. I believe this is where we lose.
Yeah, I think so. Well, Herculean effort.
Yeah. We were
Gokulian even.
Yeah, we were there up until Cryptic Command.
Cryptic Command was the thing that lost this game. Absolutely. Because you had an easy path to victory that unfortunately got blocked by Cryptic Command, which, hey, that's what Cryptic Command does. It's a turnabout in the card.
Indeed. A lot of it's different flips. We're playing as we have to here. I have a goal. They better let me get to it. This is going to end my time, by the way. Oh, it's not even going to resolve. Okay. Fine. That's theirs. Mana Drain, too. Do we see that in the other games, 1 or 2?
No. The counters that we saw were Counterspell, Cryptic Command, and Spell Pierce.
Yeah.
We never saw Mana Drain.
Yeah.
That's new.
Damn.
Which means that they got Mana Drain and 2 Moxen.
That's a strong set of cards. I mean, that's almost comparable to our first draft, which had 1 Mox, Mana Drain, Counterspell.
Yeah. Well, okay. They also had Counterspell proper, for what it's worth.
Yes.
They had a lot of really good power in their deck.
They reminded me of our round 1 deck in a lot of ways. Toxic Deluge is a killer.
Toxic Deluge is a very
good
card.
Very good card. All right. Fine for our final fight here. Let's see how this one goes.
At Caleb O.
Born in the year 1900. Does that which?
That's when you get into the really, really deep, dire counting system, like big systems. Base 20.
So Batter Skull, huh?
Base 30.
Ooh, hold on.
Goblin Welder, huh? Batter Skull seems pretty good here. Turn 3 Batter Skull. Let's see.
I wonder if they're actually a mono red deck, or if that welder is the sign of some sort of like other style.
Is it artifacts? Kind of seems like maybe.
Kind of seems like it is an artifacts thing. I don't want to put cards in their graveyard though with that. So we're gonna go grab the Batterskull, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
We do not
I
want
think the Batterskull was the stronger option regardless.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it this way again. Like our opponent has a welder and an on board.
Yes, and an onboard artifact, which means that if you have an artifact hit the graveyard, they just get to, rack nightmare for artifacts. Yep.
Yep.
All right, you're doing all of this cool stuff. I can respect it. However,
it's nice.
Can you deal with turn 3 Batterskull though?
I think I want to get that monolith off the table. They missed a land drop.
Also fair. I think both of these are valid options.
I think the missing the land drop is very, very key here to me wanting to mess with their mana.
Mm-hmm. And I guess you can swing it with the Mystic anyway. Nug for 1.
Yep, let's get in our 1 point. We can get that Batterskull online next turn. It'll still look like a turn 3 Batterskull. Nobody's made their 3rd land drop. Okay, there's a 3rd land drop.
Could very well just be red artifacts, and they're focusing entirely on, like, they might have a lot of land destruction in their deck.
Yeah, which won't do, like, if they Avalanche Riders here, that's cool, but oh shit.
Oh my. Okay, what's your plan with that mana, buddy?
Burning of Shinyi!
Shit. Okay, yeah, they're extremely land focused and destructive here.
Even getting the Batterskull into play wouldn't have done us anything against Burning of Shinyi.
Yeah.
Okay, they get their Basalt back.
Alright, oh boy.
Let's just keep playing lands. They have 1 card in hand. So...
They got 1 card in hand, which very well may have been a land. Signet Math, buddy. There we go. They're ready. Scary. They are extremely focused on this artifact plan. Wow.
Yeah, this also lets them loot, but it's much slower. Okay, I want Soulfire Grandmaster in play. Thank you very much. So they don't have any artifacts they can bring back right now that are high power. I just don't want to leave Duretti around for too long because I don't want them to improve their hand forever. Because like right now they can discard 2 to draw 2. And like any draw they draw that's like, something like...
Smokes. Okay, they're so focused on this. Wow.
I know, I love it.
This is a rarely seen thing. Also, Chalice for 2?
Chalice for 1.
Chalice for 1. Okay.
Look.
All right, they don't have anything to actually go into right now, though. They're digging with ready, but they don't have it yet.
So the thing that's really ridiculous here is that this is the very, very cool Red Machine. The Red Machine is a rarely seen deck, but it's incredibly powerful. I love it.
It's hard to just get it to work because you need so many parts.
I like it.
Time Warp is actually really nice to see. Do you start punching down Duretti, or do you go ignore Duretti? Okay.
I'm gonna punch Duretti because it's the card that is most like I need, for one, like if this actually gets to the emblem, it's pretty damn scary. Basically all artifacts that would go to grave come back.
It's Tamio, but for artifacts.
And here they go, getting back their stacks, which is the other reason I want to.
Getting rid of the Basalt Monolith.
Okay.
Oh, phew, they've got the full suite. Wow.
That could not have been a more disruptive play right there. Because now
Burning of Shinyi, Wasteland, Strip Mine. Wild. They have the full suite of land destruction.
Yeah, because now I can't get to... I needed them not to have that so I could get up to, like, bribery, treachery, time warp.
Yeah, now as it is, they're
Their smokestack's gonna start working out. I need to, like, sack the Soulfire Grandmaster, and I need to draw into a playable card, which... Narset? I need Narset. Narset works pretty good against Duretti as well. They can't loot.
right. Well, they get to...
Okay, well, that's at least a plus for us. They
Did they decide to not?
No, they might be a little unfamiliar with the MTGO playing Smokestack. You need to stack the triggers in a very specific manner so that you don't lose a card to the first Smokestack.
You have the trigger of it checks that first, then you put the counter on.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that it works is you have to choose the other one first.
Yes.
So at least they lost something out of it, but still they are extremely in. Huh. Okay, that's all right. That's white at least. That can be relevant, but
it means that we might
need something to actually put on the table.
Yes, it means that we might be able to draw certain cards. Because, like, if I can just draw a permanent that gives us a land for one turn to get to 5, like, I can bribery, and then the bribery should hopefully just win this from stealing a goddamn worm coil or something. Right?
Now, the question is...
Are they going to up the stack? They are.
They are. Okay, okay, if they play this right, this is going to help them significantly more than it's going to hurt you.
God, I want that.
Why are you playing that?
They're discarding it.
Yeah, so they put everything back into their... But don't they want things in their grave? That's kind of part of the entire thing.
Okay. Sack 2.
It's really annoying to see.
I think we just sooner or later the smokestack's gonna die.
Do you just give up? Yeah, do you just give up playing your lands?
Yeah,
for a lot
because because they put smokestack on 2. Sooner or later, it has to sack itself now. Like I don't believe you can get to a point where like. Can we use
You're
time
not
warp
gonna
on them?
sustainably keep 2 up when you just when you're down to 1 card in hand and you got rid of your graveyard. You know.
Yeah. So I can time warp them and then they have to sack 2 smokestack. Yeah, sacked already, and that's Signet. Sack the smokestack.
You should really.
Oh my god.
They want a full reset.
All right, that's fine by me.
A full reset actually benefits you way more than it does them.
Okay, discard 2.
Yeah, because then they have to get rid of it next turn. Memory Jar and Chandra, huh?
Unless they play a land here.
In which case, they just leave themselves with just ready? Or just stack?
Okay, so here it is. So the smokestack's gonna stack all my permanents.
Yep.
I'm gonna play Arid Mesa.
And just pass, right?
And pass, because they have to sack both of their things. And now we're back to square 0. Again.
But you have a hand of 7 cards.
Yeah.
And they have a hand of 2 cards. Okay. So, thank goodness they ruined their own plan with having Ulamog in their deck and putting Smokestack up to 2.
I'm also not going to fetch.
This was a very, very long game version of...
How many lands are in our bin? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 7 lands in our bin right now, so it actually is a long process for us to get to 5.
Yes. But you're going to ideally get plays between them because most of your deck...
I'm going to annihilate the shit out of them.
Yeah! Yeah! Ruin them! Get their ass!
Get their ass.
Yo, did your opponent just play a card that without having a one mana up?
Get their ass.
What a tithe.
All right. Let's go ahead and.
Did your opponent just say Ginch?
I'm
A
gonna
wealth
put-
of Gideons. I mean, hell, you have 4 mana. So, like, it's not that hard. Yo, you can pass something that you own. You can get yourself that last mana.
I know.
In general, I feel like your opponent did an exceptional job in doing their deck building, with one major exception. But might not be familiar enough with the play pattern to actually play it.
But that's
effectively.
yeah, and that's why you play it. That's why you give it some time. So
you learn.
Did
you go?
Whoa. Whoa.
No sideboard allowed?
All right, let's go. No sideboard allowed. Main decks only. Final destination, everybody.
Excuse me?
No sideboards allowed.
What happened, though?
MTGO has made an executive decision. No sideboards allowed, everybody. What?
Oh, wait, Wasteland. It can't target the
yeah,
planes.
I can't target my planes.
Sideboard banned.
Can't believe my sideboard exploded. Give me that.
So this is the same thing that happened last time.
Okay, bye.
Walter into yeah.
Yeah, this is very similar. If they Seething Song here and a Burning of Gimme, I'll be okay with that. Oh my god, it's Duretti.
I do just respect finding a deck in which Duretti is like a cornerstone in the Vintage Cube. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. What do I want to do here?
What are you doing?
Starting Wheel of Fortune? Oh, come on. And a Mox.
Oh, well. Actually, it's a little bit weird that they discard Wheel of Fortune, I feel like. They're down to 2 cards in hand, and you have a full grip. So, like, that would be an excellent time to wheel.
Yeah. So I'm feeling like playing Gideon here. Mostly because Gideon is something they have a lot of problems answering. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Burning of Gimme can't answer it, right? Like...
Mm-hmm.
Vigilance. Attack Duretti for 1.
The only reason why I can think of why they wouldn't discard why they discarded Wheel is that they have 2 exceptionally powerful cards in their hand. Yeah. Right? Like they have the things that they want. They have a discard outlet, or rather something that they want to discard, and then they can...
Okay, Basalt Monolith.
All right, if they have something to follow this up with, I would get it.
But if they just discard 2 to draw 2, they discarded 1. They have a card they like.
They discarded the mountain.
So they kept 1 card.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to have Gideon and start attacking Duretti here. I mean, that's just going to be what's going on.
They have not at any point also shown like a outlet for all of this, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's hard to get up to that Ulamog when you're destroying all of your mana sources. I feel like the Ulamog is in there as a reset, and I don't know why it is.
So we have Vigilance on Stoneforge, which is nice. Welder's off the table.
Good. That's a dangerous card. Gone.
And we have a Path to Exile at the ready. The other thing that's cool, Gideon doesn't die to, you know, if they go for their Burning of Gimme Wildfire play. I really want to get Narset down, because Narset turns off the ready. I thought about doing it last turn, Strip Mine and Mountain discards. They have, again, one card they like and two cards they're just trying to get rid of. We can get Narset down, I think we're in a super good position. Is this going to be like some red Planeswalker, Inferno Titan, something like Path Exile? That's all I want. Sundering Titan? Burning of Gimme.
Burning of Shinyi. Okay. Can you activate Stoneforge at instant speed?
I can.
Would you want Batterskull just on the table so you can equip it to Gideon?
I might want Sword of Body and Mind on the table for that.
That's a good point. You can actually
Also,
do that
I can path my
available.
Stoneforge right now.
So you could then play and equip.
So I'd have
the same turn.
I would have a land left over, effectively.
Yeah. I don't hate that, obviously, because I brought it up earlier, earlier.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put the sword down. Path my own creature.
This is specifically... You can't actually kill your opponent with Mill.
No.
But you can kill them just by hitting them with a 6/6 Gideon.
So they're sacking their Wasteland. I'm gonna keep my non-basic. Damn it. Okay.
Well, you still have a 4/4 Gideon. What's the ultimate on Blackblade Gideon?
-6.
Blade.
-6
It's
banish.
exile target. Yeah, right. Exile target non-land permanent. So that's active now. You can just get rid of something whenever you want.
I will probably getting rid of... If I can't kill Duretti in combat, I will get rid of Duretti. If I can kill Duretti in combat, I will kill something else. Cool. Sweet.
All right. They didn't... Oh, right. They didn't get the chance because NTGO said no.
And there's their land.
That is seriously the weirdest include that they have in their deck.
It's very odd.
All right. Duretti is dead in next turn.
I think we should get rid of it anyway because they're on, like, they're going to be on 6 mana, and I need to...
Or you could get rid of the Basalt Monolith.
I don't want to leave them looting for any longer than possible.
Okay.
That scares me. Because they're just going to keep ditching through their deck. And we need to find lands for the rest of this game. I know they're going to get their Basalt Monolith, and it sucks. Chalk it. Oh. Cycling Sweltering Suns. I don't like that. In the sense that I don't think that plays very good. I think you're better up.
Hazoret the Fervent.
Okay, that can attack Gideon down. They only have one card left in hand.
Really need those lands.
Uh-huh. Don't know why they didn't attack Gideon down, but sure, that's fine.
What it's worth, getting rid of the Thran Dynamo wouldn't have stopped that.
Yeah.
Not the Thran Dynamo, the Basalt Monolith. Alright, just need those lands. Any lands at all. That can help you get lands. There are 2 lands. That's most of it.
Let's get rid of some of the bigger drops that aren't happening here.
Mulldrifter can draw you 2 cards.
I still want the Time Warp.
Well, you're getting the Time
All
Warp.
right, I'm getting the Time Warp then. And your Hazoret's not attacking anymore. Cool.
Bribery.
Bribery wins the game on resolution, right?
Yeah. Because you just
Steal their
you grabbed their Ulamog.
God!
Well, at least you drew 2 more lands, right?
Well, and the Hazoret's not attacking for like 10 years. By that I mean 2 turns.
When is Hazoret on?
1 card.
1 card, okay.
Heck bent.
Koth von Hammerclad.
Sub.
You don't have that many mountains.
Mountain is red.
Mountain is red. Okay, Crucible of Worlds. That makes sense.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. Good.
So, non-basics suck. And also, if they get their strip mine back,
They don't have strip mine because they shuffled it backhand. They only have
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they get it back, though,
Yeah,
that'll be nasty.
Yeah, whatever. Here's my freaking Soulfire Grandmaster. Go. Hopefully we can attack with a Sword of Body and Minded creature, and they drew Ulamog or whatever.
You gotta do is just take out Koth, and something can happen here.
Yeah. I don't care about Koth's ult. Okay,
No,
I
guess.
they're getting closer to Koth's ult. Fine. I mean, like, that's a lot. They're starting to have a lot of mountains. Yep, sure. Mountains of 4/4. Here's some mana. God.
The Ulamog is extremely, like, the only real misstep in this built deck, because otherwise this deck rules.
See, here's the thing, I don't know if it is. Like, right now they gotta cast it.
I guess, yeah, but it's 2 very conflicting plans.
Partially. Yeah, I mean, their Crucible Strip Mine doesn't, like, they cut off a lot of them, but I think they just are discarding the Ulamog too aggressively. Oh my god, it's the Summoning Sick Mountain.
Nice. Nice.
Oh. Oh my
Opponent
god.
is making a lot of misplays.
Uh-huh.
And that's what's saving your ass right now.
Summoning Sick. Otherwise, I would have taken 4, and then more bad things would have happened. Take the sword.
The sword.
I can't kill Koth, so I'm going to attack them. Because it'll make a blocker.
Discard 10. Get yourself a dog for a blocker. Yeah. Did not discard Ulamog, which means that if we do get up to mana, the bribery works.
Also, they're going to be at 10 cards in deck here on the draw. If the Ulamog's in their hand, if we caught it in the Pokeball, we can kill them. If we caught it in the Pokeball.
I don't think they did. There's a 1 in 11 chance that that's the case.
I know. It's very hard to catch it in the Pokeball.
It's very hard to catch Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre, in the Pokeball.
In the Pokeball.
It was Chandra in the Pokeball.
Damn it. There. Chandra has a minus.
That's the 4 ability one too, huh?
Yeah, right. That one has a -3 to deal 4 damage to kill my Sword of Body and Mind Wielder.
Because you have to block with that wolf too, so.
Okay, plus Chandra and exile your. Okay, damn it. Fine. Yep.
Okay. Now hold on. That's 9 damage. They're gonna ping down your wolf and then.
Yeah, they're gonna ping down the wolf. It's fine, whatever.
I guess give you the chance to just block it instead.
Let's do that. That's another way to not die.
A Mulldrifter would be really nice right about now. Just to draw more cards.
I think we lose this one. I think, yeah. You know what? Let's move to 3.
You're dead on board, basically, because they're going to... Not technically, but they can do 9 off of the mountains alone.
And then Chandra can ping for 2.
Right, yeah. Okay.
God, this is so stupid. Okay, we got to sideboard, thank goodness. Anything that costs like 5 mana can just get the fuck out of my deck. Because we're never getting there. Like, I don't believe for a second we're ever getting to that much mana. Actually, you know what? I don't think balance is good against them.
Against the deck that just goes down to 0 lands pretty frequently and also rarely has creatures on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also is frequently playing down cards in hand as well against you.
Weird. God, our 4-mana walkers are so good if we get to them. Not Hall Speaker. I'm gonna take out this sword.
Body mind.
Yeah. We don't have a pro red sword, which sucks.
If you had SoFi, that would have been fantastic, especially in this matchup.
You know what? No. 18th land. That's what we're
Just
playing.
try to combat their land
18th
destruction.
goddamn land.
That's fair, actually. Just running out of lands has actually been a problem lately. There's a hand with land in plays, which means that's what you need. It's go ahead and wheel. There's more lands where it came from. The shift of exactly one land will turn the tides of everything.
Gideon's also, again, very good here.
Yeah.
Doesn't die to a lot of their removal. Dies to their planeswalkers, but also kills some of them back. I'm not using my fetch until basically necessary. Especially because I don't want to fetch a... Fucking fine. Whatever, dude.
Okay. We mulled the 6. That's what that means. I mean, it is relevant in that if you happen to have a low land hand, that would put you back.
Oh, I'm ready!
Yeah! Yeah!
Yeah!
Get him! Ha!
Got him!
They did see that you had that, technically speaking, if they were paying attention, because they made you discard it. Remember right. It's hard to get rid of, I guess, the same draft as well.
Crucible Worlds, I don't care.
The strip mine plan is online, but...
Too late, I don't care.
Also, they don't have any artifact mana out.
Yeah, like, they're playing land per turn.
Alright, well, here comes 6 damage. Because Geist of Saint Traft is a white-blue card. That is 6 power on 3 power, 3 CMC creature.
Also, if they want to do the strip mine thing, they can't develop their mana.
Yep. That would be dangerous if they had artifact mana on the bit table, but currently speaking, they don't.
So they might have to tap out for like a Basalt here, and then play the strip mine and kill our Tundra. That's what I think they should do, but... They can't kill Gideon with Koth. They can't kill Gideon with Hazaret because they do have 2 cards in hand. There's a lot of problems. No, they chose not to play their... Yeah.
That makes sense. Like, right now, it's just not a good idea.
Oh my god.
Why do I like to present this?
What? You're gonna exile your... Is that a sideboard choice?
Exiling your sideboard? Graveyard? Why would they exile their own graveyard?
I have no idea.
Is this so that they can catch their own Ulamog?
Hold on.
Oh, you get to... Oh, I see. I know what you're doing.
Hold on.
None of these are lands. You want to keep the... Of course, Narset's 1 turn too late.
I still probably want the Narset.
Yeah. It's good against Doretti, and...
I think I'm going to keep Vanguard, too, because it's indestructible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, is that active cryptic?
That's active cryptic.
Yeah.
There's one piece of their artifact mana. Did they show that Mox Ruby before?
Yeah, I think in the last game.
I didn't hoot and holler about it. They got a ridiculously good set of draws. Like they had a ridiculously good draft for this. The full land destruction suite, including Crucible, a bunch of artifact engrave interaction cards, wheel, and yeah, they have an outrageously well put together deck.
Mm-hmm.
They just yeah, I think they missed out on like things like Mindslaver and Worm Coil Engine. I think that's correct.
What do I want to do here? I can leave up Cryptic.
For like Burning of Shinyi.
Yeah. I could also just play Narset Adonto Vanguard. I think I want to leave up the Cryptic.
I think you want to leave the Cryptic as well, yeah. Now I think about it.
Because the Cryptic ends the game.
If they have any blocker, you can get rid of it or tap it, depending on how many that they play. Or both.
Here it comes.
Depending.
Counter
There's the
target spell,
burning.
draw a
Okay,
card.
excellent.
That's game, folks.
Yep. Countered by Cryptic Command.
So that was a game where they just didn't have the artifact mana to go fast enough, and we saw how our deck was also kind of had that issue as well. Like that's one of the strengths of this cube in particular that people need to be aware of is how strong the artifact mana is and what that does. That was a very fun deck our opponent had.
Yeah, no, their deck was great. I loved it. There's a couple of, I thought, questionable inclusions, but only a few. Otherwise, it was a well-oiled machine.
Right.
Exceptionally good at doing what it was supposed to do. It just never actually managed to do that.
Yeah, it got there.
It never pulled it off.
It got closest in game 2, but game 2 was more like all of a sudden we just kind of died to a Hazoret out of it. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay.
They got closest in game 1, functionally, but then it just got swept out under their feet by a misplay.
Yeah, if they wouldn't have sacked that one extra land, they would have been able to keep Duretti into the null world. And that
probably also shouldn't have stacked up to 2.
Yeah, well, that's hard because they don't know what we are, right? Like,
yeah.
So, like, if they don't stack it up to 2, we're on 4 mana as long as we keep playing lands. And there's a lot of threats in blue-white on 4 that all of a sudden could, like, really make things difficult. In our deck specifically, Gideon, Ally of Zendikar, or Elspeth both make their smokestack plan null and void.
Yeah. Or, I guess more accurately, they should have sacked the stacks itself earlier once they had gotten up to 2. And just accepted the board state with Duretti and like a couple of lands.
Yeah, going to null, I think, was just incorrect because we were out 7 cards in hand to like 2.
Yeah.
And I don't care how sculpted your 2 is, it's still a mulligan to 2. So
yeah. And it was in game 2 they discarded a wheel when they were in a similar situation, which was
interesting.
Then they drew it again later, so I mean
the play I'm thinking of in game 2, I played Gideon on turn 3, and I'm actually thinking it might have been better to have played Narset on 3 because it shuts off Duretti.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been a little bit more powerful of a play. Anywho, that's looking back at the post-op here. I think we had some fun with
on a match you won anyway.
So. Right. Still worth noting.
Yeah.
Because Narset is so strong against that sort of effect.
Mm. Against Narset was probably strongest against that deck out of all the ones you encountered today.
All right. Anywho, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, MDCT, for jumping in on this.
Yeah, no worries.
Sweet.
It was a fun time. I should probably stop talking at some point.
You've been going for like 32 hours, basically nonstop. So
yeah.
if you with the audience here, if you don't follow Doc here, you can head over to the Sword Zone,
Yeah.
and do so.
Sword.zone.
If you don't follow here, that's weird. It's interesting
Yeah,
if you're here the
that's
whole time.
particularly weird. How do you even figure this out?
But it's easy to do. You can catch when I go live with other things. There'll be more cards going on. I think on Sunday this weekend we'll be doing some more stuff. So
sounds good.
Anyway, yeah, that'll be all for tonight. Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for showing up. Thanks to everybody who subbed today. Hope y'all had a good time. Have a good night, everybody.